Escape from Tarkov 1.0 has finally released, and that means that the main story for the game has also been added so you can finally escape from Tarkov. I'm currently playing through Tarkov 1.0 to make my full review of the game, but there is a lot of confusion around the new quest system and how to complete them. Whether you're a new player that just bought the game, or a veteran who's been playing for 10 years, this story system is new for everyone. And because it's so new and the information around it is all scattered around, I wanted to make a complete guide on how to complete the first main quest, Tor, for Tarkov 1.0. Before diving too deep into the step-by-step guide, you need to know that the first main quest is called Tor, and this quest is essentially unlocking most of the traders in the game and all of the maps that were available before 1.0. When Tarkov launched 1.0, they locked all the maps behind a linear progression path, and you won't be able to access all of the maps unless you progress through this quest. However, this quest does not unlock the newest map, Terminal. This quest only unlocks the maps that were available prior to 1.0. Also, you will not get any rewards like XP or in-game items. This quest only unlocks most of the traders, most of the maps, and an achievement. I'm assuming that the other main quests will eventually unlock Terminal, but I wanted to let you know this information before we dive too deep into the quest. This video will be split up into multiple chapters, and you'll have timestamps down below so you can skip around wherever you need. Also, keep in mind you will need a Labs keycard and 5 PMC Dogtags to complete this quest, so be on the lookout and save these items as you're trying to complete this quest. When you first start the game, you're going to get a cutscene that shows you the world of Tarkov, and then you will wake up in a very limited version of Ground Zero and start their new tutorial. As soon as you get control of your character, you will get a notification in the bottom right hand corner of your screen that shows you that you've started the Tor questline. This is where all of the notifications for the main quest will be located for future reference. Make your way through this version of Ground Zero until you reach the end of the tutorial. As an important side note, anything that you loot during this tutorial counts as a found and raid item, and you can use it for other quests and some hideout upgrades in the future. After completing the tutorial, you will be brought to the main menu, and I just want to take a second to showcase the new quest and trader interface that you're going to be using for the rest of the game. All of the main quests will be located in the character tab in the middle of the main menu. Once you're in the character tab, you will need to go up to the task tab at the top of the screen. This will showcase all of the main and side quests that you have available. Also, in the main quest section, you will be able to see this magnifying glass icon, and you can look back at other lore entries that you've previously completed or previously completed objectives. Which brings us to our next step, which is to talk to Therapist. But you have to click on the Visit button that is located at the top of the Trading tab. And once you've clicked this, you will load into the new 3D Trader Spaces that launched with 1.0. You will need to use this Visit button for every step of a main quest. Once you talk to Therapist, she will ask you for 250,000 rubles. You should have more than enough money to start this, and I would recommend just handing this money over now. Which, by the way, this game says that it's an optional objective, but really it isn't because it's also a main objective. They put a lot of these objectives in the optional tab because you have the option to not complete it immediately. It's pretty stupid because you're going to have to do it anyway. The next step is to talk to Ragman, and he will have you scope out some SUVs on Interchange. The dialogue for these main quests really overcomplicate what you actually have to do, so just look at your objectives, which is to survive and extract from Interchange. I'm not going to showcase every single extraction point that's available on these maps, but what I will do is put an updated version of the map on screen so that you can use it for a reference. My only advice to new players is to have these maps on your phone or up on your second monitor while you're playing to try and learn the maps as best as you can as you play. After surviving Interchange, you will have to talk to Ragman again, and after some dialogue, you will unlock Skier, and this is how you unlock most of the traders throughout the game. After you talk to Skier, you will need to survive and extract through customs and collect 5 found and raid building materials. If you're a new player, found and raid means that you extracted with the item, and it'll have a white check mark at the bottom of its icon. Here is a map of customs that you can use for when you're trying to complete this step. But the most important part about this step is what classifies as a building material. You can turn in any combination of nuts, bolts, metal parts, screws, and nails to complete this step. You need to turn these building materials in to start the next part of the quest. After turning in the building materials, you'll unlock Mechanic, and he will have you survive and extract from Factory and hand over 2 found and raid guns to him. Here is the map of Factory, and as a side note, you can turn in literally any found and raid gun. You don't even really have to kill anything. You can find it in a crate, or you can pick it up off of a dead scav while you're progressing through your raid. After turning in the guns and surviving from factory, you will unlock Prapor. However, the next step will have you go back to Skier, and he'll have you survive and extract from woods and kill 3 scavs in woods. Here is the map of woods, and hopefully you can do both of these in the same raid. After completing these objectives, you'll go back to Skier and unlock Peacekeeper. It's also worth mentioning that around this same time, you're going to be getting another quest called Falling Skies involving the crashed plane in woods. The traders will talk about this on top of your tour task, so try to make sure that you're separating the two and understand which one you're trying to progress. So in order to progress the tour task, you will need to try and access the port on Shoreline. Now up until this point, this quest has been pretty straightforward. But from here until the end of the quest, this only gets way more time consuming and complicated. You will need to go to Shoreline and interact with an intercom on a specific part of the map. Here's the map and the location of the quest. Once you're in the area, you will need to find a tower in the middle of the road, and at the base of the tower will be an intercom and a prompt to interact with it. Once you interact with it, there will be a short dialogue to confirm that you have completed this step. After completing this step, you do not need to survive an extract from Shoreline. Once you return to the main menu, you will have 2 indicators telling you to go to Prapor and Mechanic. When you talk to Prapor, he wants you to collect 5 PMC dog tags at any location and return it to him. You will also need to return to Shoreline and successfully extract. However, these PMC kills do not need to be done on Shoreline. So kill 5 players, loot their dog tag, and turn it into Prapor. This will unlock the reserve map, but you do not need to go to reserve to complete this quest. When you talk to Mechanic, he wants you to collect 20,000 USD. And yes, that is a lot of money and a lot of time investment. When you finish this part of the quest, you will unlock the Lighthouse map, and you also don't need to go there to finish the quest. So if you don't care about Lighthouse or labs, you can hold off on completing this part of the task and do other stuff. But if you want to get $20,000 as fast as possible, I recommend selling everything to Peacekeeper because he buys everything in USD. At this point, I would try and complete some of the side quests and other main quests to try and get $20,000 over time. Once you complete both of these steps, you'll unlock the hardest part of this quest, which is unlocking labs. You will need to find a labs keycard in order to access this map. However, you can't select it from the main menu like you did in the past. You have to use either the transit on streets or the transit on factory to get inside of labs. This is the only optional part of this quest, and I would highly recommend that you use the factory entrance. You need the keycard in your secure container when you attempt to enter labs. It's important to note that this keycard is a one-time use, so if you die at any point, you're going to need to find another keycard in order to finish the quest. After you enter labs, you will have to visit 2 specific rooms, the top manager's office and the server room. Then you will have to successfully extract, specifically through the sewer extract in order to complete the quest. I don't know if this can be done across multiple runs, but keep in mind that you need a keycard every time you try this. Thankfully, I was able to complete this all in one raid, and I'll show you the path that I took. Try to make your way to the middle of the map in this red area. Once you get to the second floor, you'll notice a circular office, and you can take this path to the orange area. Once you get behind this desk, you'll get a notification to show that you completed this step. From here, you can backtrack a little bit and follow my path into the server room. Once you enter the server room, you will get another notification. Keep going through the server room until you get to this staircase and go all the way down. This is the general area for the sewer extract, but it's pretty easy to get turned around. Make your way to this door and follow my path to the sewer system. You will need to activate a panel on the left-hand side of the room. However, if you check your extracts, if this extract is green, that means that someone else has already pressed the panel. Then you can just make your way to the right-hand side of the room and successfully extract. Now, once you've done all of this, you will need to talk to Skier one last time and fail the quest. Then complete the quest, and then it gives you the achievement. I was so confused and I thought that I somehow messed up, but I guess this is what's supposed to happen, and this is how you successfully complete the quest, by failing. And you're officially done, and this is the complete tour quest. And you can now move on to other quests, and hopefully that will unlock Terminal. Hopefully BSG actually has Terminal done, and you can escape from Tarkov right now, and this isn't just some way to time gate us, but I really wouldn't put it past them. I have never really made a guide before, and I never really planned on making one. I've started to just make this channel more about having conversations, being informative, and making reviews, but because I'm reviewing Tarkov 1.0, and because the game is super new player unfriendly, I wanted to make this guide in order to help new people getting into the game or returning players wanting to jump back into 1.0. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like and consider subscribing to the channel for more gaming related content. Let me know down below in the comments if this was helpful and if I should make more guides in the future. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!